Masama ba mangarap na magkaroon ng sarili nyong bahay? In most cases, no. Pero dito, sa pagkakataon na ito, my dudes, the answer is yes. Kasi today ngayong araw, titingnan natin yung istorya ng isang plastic surgeon to the stars na nabankrupt dahil nangarap siya magpatayo ng $88 million as costing na Bel Air Mansion.
Unfortunately, Dr. Alex Kadavi, dermatologist to the stars, had eyes bigger than his wallet. Keep watching to see the mansion that dragged him to bankruptcy. Before we get into the drama, let's break down this mega mansion. This luxurious behemoth of a property was originally just a plot of land with a view. Then Dr. Kadavi bought the lot in 2013 for $16 million.
So lote pa lang, $16 million na, my dudes. That is because located ito in one of the most prestigious na lupain sa US, which is Bel Air, kung saan tumanda si Will Smith. And not just that, typically yung mga lote with great views will cost way more, my dudes.
The house completed as of 2021 fits in perfectly with the Bel Air neighborhood with its 7 bedrooms and 21,000 square feet of floor space. Not to mention its extravagant interiors, which cost $30 million to construct. For context, that's 3 times the original budget. Obviously, the good doctor needs a refresher course on what budget means. But despite his mistakes, Dr. Alex did build a stunning home with a laundry list of unique amenities.
Alright, in fairness, first impressions, my dudes, maganda yung bahay. Although the exterior, medyo typical siya na postmodern exterior, ganyan. Large windows, very clean lines. Di ko lang alam ba't nilagyan nila ng rope light dito. Tapos may nawawalang wood slat cladding, which I think it would have looked better kung white na lang sana ito. I don't know, this is his house. Di natin i-judge. But actually, in this case, i-judge natin. So, tuloy!
The entire building is a luxurious reflection of Kadavi's interests and imagination. It could easily pass for a modern art museum. When you pull up, the house is guarded by big, mirrored steel gates.
Wow. What the heck? Okay, so na-confuse ako dito sa kanilang gate. Why does it have to be mirrored? Seems like a hazard. Lalo na kung merong araw na sumisikat, tas papasok ka sa gate mo, akala mo tuloy-tuloy lang yung road, tas nasilaw ka ng araw dahil tumalbog dito sa mirror. You are blind and boom! Tinamaan mo yung gate nyo na mahal.
Then once you enter, you drive uphill on the slate driveway to the front entrance. The grand entryway is white and sleek with black metal and glass accents. A unique chandelier of sorts hangs in the middle and immediately draws your attention.
So papasok na tayo, tignan natin yung rason bakit hindi niya ba mabenta-benta ito. At ni-rule na lang ng judges na ipapa-auction niya itong bahay na ito at around $50 million, which may kinita pa siyang mga $4 million if ever mabenta man ito sa auction. But take note, my dudes, yung $50 million na yun ay yung reserve dun sa auction, which means ito yung minimum amount na tatanggapin ng buyer from the auction house. So kung nabenta ito way less than that, I think maka-cancel yung auction. Let's say 40 million lang yung highest bid. Auction cancelled. So, may kinita pa rin siya, 4 million, which is not so bad.
From this room, you have a clear view of the large living room and the view of Los Angeles in the distance.
Oh, dude, the
also,
view.
Off the grand entrance is a glass elevator that's made to look like it's plunging into a large koi pond outside. Above the entrance is a glass-bottomed bridge that connects different areas of the house and overlooks the living room.
So, meron tayong infinity pool. Meron din tayong tempered glass walkway or catwalk. Very, very Pinteresty. Another Pinterest staple, which me, myself, is guilty na lagi kong nilalagay ay itong green wall, which I think peke ito kasi masyadong maganda yung plants.
When you walk through the entryway into the sitting area, you're actually stepping off a secret DJ platform. It pops up out of the floor on a hydraulic lift. We're not sure why the DJ needs to be airlifted to jam, but it looks cool nonetheless.
Not gonna lie, my dudes, this looks pretty awesome, although may iniiwan ito na parang butas sa sahig, which personally I think wala itong naidadagdag na value dun sa bahay. Now, some of the things that add value sa bahay nyo when it comes to, you know, real estate cellaring is yung ating pool. So usually yung mga pool can add around 5 to 8% more real estate value dun sa bahay nyo. And mas social tignan yung mga pool. But a DJ booth na umaangat, I think minsan negative pa nga ito dun sa mga buyers na hindi mahilig pumarty. But you know, That's just my opinion, my dudes. Anyway.
The size of the living room rivals that of a hotel lobby, with plenty of space for multiple couches, chairs and tables. The room is airy and bright, with an entire wall of windows. It opens out into the backyard and shows off the house's stunning view of the city. Adjacent to the living area is the kitchen. Similar to the rest of the house, this room is full of natural light from floor to ceiling windows. It also has a modern design with expensive marble countertops, a gas range and a unique teak light feature on the ceiling that looks like a maze.
It actually looks nice. I'm surprised. Yung kitchen nila very classy, minimalist. I'm a big fan ng gantong klaseng kitchen kung saan hindi mo alam saan yung ref. Para yung mga guests mo, hindi basta kuha-kuha ng pagkain nyo palagi, di ba? Ubusin mo na naman yung fruit salad. Hindi ko sabihin kung alin dyan yung ref.
Oh no, which one is it?
The living room, kitchen and outdoor areas are all great options for entertaining. But for the more niche crowd, Dr. Alex cooked up something special, a tequila bar. It has a backlit shelving area to display the tequila, cushioned bar stools and a lounge area that opens out to the yard. It's the right mix of classic and chic that makes it feel like a high-end nightclub. But we admit we were slightly disappointed to find that Tequila by the Champs doesn't play on a constant loop. It's clear why you wanted access to the yard from every room on the ground floor. The outdoor space is a dream for entertaining, with multiple seating areas, including one that surrounds a modern L-shaped fire pit encased in glass.
So if kukumpara natin yung LA sa Philippines, yung Pilipinas receives at least 6 times more rainfall kumpara sa LA. So kung sa Pilipinas, 6 months umuulan tuloy-tuloy from June to December, dito sa LA, halos 1 month lang umuulan sa kanila, which, you know, sobrang init siguro pag ganun nangyari sa Pilipinas. Anyway, that is one of the reasons kung bakit usong-uso sa LA yung mga ganito na open to the outdoor yung kanilang living room, kitchen, and everything. Because 90% of the year, okay lang na nakabukas itong mga doors na ito. And I'm willing to bet na walang lamok dito sa lugar na to. Ganun kasosyal yan. Kahit yung lamok, hindi nila afford tumira dito.
There's a Baja platform in the pool that holds up a row of lounge chairs, and Dr. Gaddafi installed a series of jets in the pool that are designed to pump in time with music.
So I like their pool. Meron pa silang Baja platform dito, which is slightly lower, usually hanggang tuhod lang yung level ng tubig dito sa kanilang Baja platform. So parang tulad lang sa Pilipinas, meron tayong baha na minsan hanggang tuhod, minsan hanggang bewang.
Other amenities include a guest house, a home theatre with huge couches and surround sound, a massage room, an in-home car museum, and a champagne tasting room. The tasting room in particular looks like it was made by Prada. The walls and bar are made of expensive black marble, and backlit cases display luxury champagne. Most of us would just drink it, but Dr. Alex decided to give each bottle its own marketing campaign in his house. Arguably the most unique feature in the house is the NFT art gallery. After multiple Google searches, we determined that NFT is essentially another term for digital art. His collection includes a piece by Big Head, a DJ and producer who contributed to Lil Pump's 2017 hit Gucci Gang. By all accounts, the house is sick and custom tailored for Dr. Gaddafi's wants and needs. So where did it all go wrong?
Dapat alam mo yung target market mo, which in this case is the ultra-rich. And some of the features na nilagay niya dito are good for the ultra-rich, but meron din mga questionable na features tulad ng DJ table at yung NFT art gallery thingy mo, Bob. And I gotta say, the gate na super shiny. So maybe itong gate na ito is symbolism kasi plastic surgeon siya, and yung mga nagpapa-plastic surgery always likes to look at mirrors. Why else would you alter your face kung hindi mo naman titignan sa mirror, di ba? But you know, that's just me. Merong mga magagaling na plastic surgeons na halos hindi mo halata.
There are a few different factors that play into why Dr. Gaddafi's dream mansion ended up being a money pit. The first would be inexperience. Dr. Alex bought the property in 2013. At the time, he had very little experience with development and the luxury home market. Not to mention, California is notorious for being tricky with real estate. He had purchased and remodeled homes in the area before, but they mostly fell in the under $1 million category. That is a drastically different price point from a house that cost $16 million before there was even a blueprint for it. Additionally, a crucial part of being successful in the luxury home market is knowing who to hire for remodeling. The homes are bigger and more architecturally complex than the average suburban colonial, and materials themselves are generally more expensive too. Gaddafi claims he didn't have connections with the types of contractors capable of taking on a project of this scale.
Yun yung first reason ba't siya pumalpak is inexperienced siya, and then nag-hire pa siya ng mga contractors na hindi rin masyado experience sa paggawa ng malalaking houses. That's why yung itsura ng bahay is medyo parang wala siyang lasting impression na pag nakita mo siya, hanggang matulog ka, gumising ka bukas, naalala mo pa rin yung bahay. So those are the houses na tinatawag natin na iconic and madaling mabebenta yung mga ganon, my dudes.
The amount of time it took to finish this house is a blazing red flag. It doesn't normally take nearly a decade to build a home, and yet the project wasn't finished until 2021, 8 years after Gaddafi bought it. Granted, the pandemic was a significant and unforeseen factor in the later delays. Gaddafi said crews were often out because a member would come down with the virus and everyone would stay home. He said people don't take pride in what they do and no one wanted to work. Regardless of where you fall on this topic, the lack of manpower lengthened the build.
That is unfortunate and walang may kasalanan yan except for the guy na kumain ng paniki. Why? Anyway, kami rin na nagkaroon kami ng delay dun sa construction kasi syempre yung mga workers di sila pwede pumasok because you know, COVID, man. And mahigpit yung rules dito sa Baguio City that time. Not everyone can just go in and out of Baguio. And most of our workers do not live in Baguio City. So, nawala rin yung iba naming workers. They're still with us. I mean, boy pa sila. Yun lang, hindi na sila nagtatrabaho sa amin. They found work elsewhere.
A third factor, also having to do with construction, is mistakes. We don't claim to know anything about architecture or construction. However, mistakes were made. Within the first year, Gaddafi parted ways with his architect and his primary contractor.
Okay, so number one mistake niya is nag-install siya ng spiral stairs. That is a no-go, my dudes. Lalo na kung maluwang yung space nyo. There is no reason to install spiral stairs. Sobrang hirap umakyat dyan and it is a tripping hazard. May chance na dumaustos ka dyan at ma-rearrange yung mukha mo.
Within the first year, Gaddafi parted ways with his architect and his primary contractor. He'd run into issues with the work his contractors had done. A beam they installed was blocking the views from the primary bedroom and had to be ripped out. Contractors also reportedly failed to waterproof the guest house, which forced Dr. Alex to rip out millions of dollars worth of marble. Mistakes like this are an egregious waste of time and materials.
You know, yung mga gantong bagay hindi dapat nire-rush, my dudes. So, mga Japanese, when it comes to building houses or anything, basically, yung kanilang planning stage sobrang tagal kasi gusto nilang siguruhin na lahat ng areas kung saan pwede sila magkamali ay aayusin na nila para pag ginagawa na is wala ng mistakes. Don't get me wrong, my dudes, mistakes will occur pag nagpapagawa kayo ng bahay. But if it is well planned, yung mga mistakes na mangyayari is super minimal na lang. Maliliit na mistakes na madaling maayos.
After dropping $16 million on the land, Dr. Gaddafi had a $10 million budget to build the house from the ground up. But very quickly into the project, his eyes were bigger than his pockets, and he spared no expense when he should have been sparing most expenses. Some telling examples would be the finishings throughout the house. He stained his wood floors with 24-karat gold dust.
Why? Another thing na hindi magdadagdag ng value sa bahay is yung mga things na kailangan mo pang sabihin pag nagtutour ka ng buyer. Like, itong sahig, do you notice anything? Wala? Ni-stain na namin yan ng 24 karat gold. It looks ordinary, you say? Get out. Labas. Can't afford it. You have 100 million? I don't care. You offended me in the floor.
Also, his budget for marble was $10 per square foot, but he sprung for the Calcutta Extra Gold, which runs for $150 per square foot. If he was willing to spend 15 times more than he was supposed to on marble, it's not hard to figure out how he spent $20 million over budget. Rule number 1 of big ticket shopping: don't buy a Lamborghini if you make Honda money.
Dapat stick to the budget kayo. And usually, pag magpapagawa kayo ng bahay, along with the plans ay meron din dapat estimates and bill of materials na ipe-present sa inyo, yung inyong contractor and architects and mga designers para makita nyo doon na itong material na ito, ganito yung cost niya. And naka-itemize yun usually na dapat susundin yon. Pag meron kayong gusto baguhin doon sa inyong mga material specifications and doon sa overall na plan, kailangan gagawa nyo ng change order at gagawa ng panibagong mga papeles to make sure na yun na yung susundin na next, my dudes. Anyway,